start recording. Okay, so I'm recording. Cool, perfect. Alright, so today I'm going to be reacting to My Case for Egoism, Why I'm an Anarchist. Thought that is the YouTuber that we're reacting to. Personally, I am an egoist. My philosophy is egoism. I believe in I believe that selfishness is human nature, and humans have to be selfish because at the end of the day, the only life you're living is your own. So if you do a logical calculation of action and reaction, it is completely illogical to not act on your own self-interest. However, I am not an anarcho-egoist, meaning I don't believe that egoism should be implemented politically, but rather should be a personal philosophy to follow on your own.
Hello, and welcome back
Hi.
to ThoughtBat. In today's video, I aim to present my case for egoism, as I would say that egoism is the fundamental philosophical position from which my political stances follow. To begin my argument, I will discuss the meaning of egoism, and then I will explain why I think it plays an important role in not just anti-capitalist movements, but also struggles against sexism, racism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, and hierarchical ideologies in general. For the context of this video, I will use the term egoism in reference to a system of ethics based on the prioritization of one's own self-interest. This definition may include one of the three main types of egoism: rational, ethical, and psychological.
I am a rational egoist. I believe that reasonableness and logicalness and rationalization is the ultimate factor as to how you act. I don't believe in ethical egoism. Ethical egoism, I'm sure we can explain it, has to do more so with, I don't want to say emotions or feelings, but it has to do with feelings in the sense of, like, a rational egoist would have to justify their actions through a logical or reasonable means, whereas an ethical egoist would simply just say, whatever, I want to do it in the story, and then they do it. My problem with that is the consequences that follow after you act aren't going to follow suit whether you like to or not. So I would suggest that the best course of action is for egoists to be rational, to avoid any negative consequences that may be detrimental to the ego.
But I will be focusing on the latter two as they are the most relevant to my argument. Ethical egoism is simply the premise that you should be egoistic, and psychological egoism is that all actions are inherently egoistic to some degree.
And as he says, to some degree, I am a psychological egoist. I am a psychological egoist. I'm a psychological rational egoist, or a rational psychological egoist, in the sense that I truly believe that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter how you rationalize anything, any action, there is no selfless act. All actions are ultimately for the benefit of oneself, and I would suggest that if you act not in the benefit of oneself, you're not acting according to a logical and reasonable standard.
Perhaps the most famous egoist, Max Stirner, whose name has been resurrected by 21st century meme culture, laid out his own case for egoism in his 1844 publication titled The Ego in Its Own, link in description. In this book, Stirner questions the necessity for individuals to devote themselves to a range of causes.
I don't want to see that. Hang on. Link in the description. What? You know the own? What? Oh, wait, this guy just has a whole freaking book free online. Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool. I'd rather have a physical copy. Let's say something funny. 75 times he mentions Jewish people. The Jews! Freaking anti-Semite. Anyway. What is egoism? Is that the same guy? No, it's a different guy. Same guy, different guy, same guy. No, that's not what I wanted. Intro was egoism.
Causes, i.e. the cause of God, the cause of a nation, the cause of humanity, etc. Stirner exclaims that, to be considered a truly moral, righteous and worthy being, we must choose one of these causes to dedicate ourselves to, just so long it's not one of our own causes that we are striving for. To cut a long story short, Stirner reminds us that these entities known as church, state and humanity are not at all present in material reality. For example, to carry out the word of God is to carry out the word of bishops. To devote oneself to furthering the national interest is to devote oneself to the interest of government bureaucrats. And to strive for the cause of humanity
Alright, now I want to
is simply to strive for the cause of whoever claims to represent those interests.
The quest for absolute freedom. Now it's stop recording. Okay. I've been recording for 6 minutes and 25 seconds. That's been recording properly. Desktop audio, I haven't checked that.
As well as their collaborators and beneficiaries.
So, alright. Hold on. Back to my stop recording in 3, 2, 1.